In this video, we'll discuss about transformer on load. In the previous lecture, that is in lecture number 3, we discussed about transformer on no load. Okay, when the transformer is on no load, what will happen? This is what the voltage V1. As this voltage V1 is applied to the primary windings, there is a flow of no load current because right now the secondary is kept open. So what is the value of I2? I2 is equal to 0 when it is open circuited or no load is connected across secondary winding. Okay, so what will happen? There is a flow of current I0 and I0 will flow into the windings and establish a flux phi, and because of this flux phi, E1 known as self-induced EMF in the primary winding is established, which opposes, by which it is caused by V1, that is why it will oppose V1. This is as per Lenz's law. Okay, and this flux will link with the secondary winding of a transformer and establish another induced EMF known as E2, secondary induced EMF, because of mutual induction. Therefore, there is a voltage terminal at secondary side known as V2, terminal voltage at secondary side. Okay, when there is a connection of load across the terminals of secondary, this is a load connected to the secondary side. What will happen? There is an establishment of I2. I2 is established. Okay, this I2 is established because we have connected a load and we are providing a path for the flow of secondary current. Therefore, E2 is established. Okay, therefore we can say that when the load is connected to secondary terminal, secondary current I2 flows through the load. Okay, the nature of the secondary current I2 is determined by the characteristics of load, that is the magnitude and the phase of I2 with respect to V2. Okay, it means the nature of I2 depends upon the load. Okay, whether if the load is inductive, the current I2 lags V2 by an angle phi 2. It means if the load is inductive, it means this is what V2, it will lag, the I2 will lag by an angle phi 2. Okay, next, if the load is non-inductive, that is it is a resistive load, the current I2 is in phase with V2. Okay, the phasor will at that time will be like this. It is in phase with V2. It is a resistive load. Okay, and if the load is capacitive, the current I2 leads V2 by an angle phi 2. Okay, it means this is what the reference phase of V2 and this is the current which is leading by an angle phi 2. Okay, now considering another considering the transformer which is connected to with V1, as it is connected to the V1 and the secondary is connected to the load, what will happen? There is a flow of current I0. Because of this I0, there is a establishment of, or the main flux phi is set up in the core which link with the secondary winding of a transformer. Okay, this dotted line shows the flow of flux phi, or we can say it is a main flux. When this flux is linked with the primary winding, it is established or induced an EMF E1. The same flux is linking with the secondary winding. Again, it is establishing or inducing E2, this induced EMF in the secondary winding. What will happen? There is a flow of current I2 into the load, and because of this I2, an MMF known as magnetomotive force, that is N2 I2, is produced. and because of this N2 I2, this N2 I2 produces a flux phi 2, and this flux phi 2 is in opposition to the main flux. Okay, suppose this is the flow of phi, it is clockwise, and because of this I2 another flux is established which is known as phi 2. It is established which is known as phi 2, and it is in phase opposition to the phi. Okay, this is upward, this is phi 2, this is phi 2. Now when the secondary is connected to the load side, what will happen, and the primary winding is connected to the V1, there is a flow of I naught. This I naught will establish main flux phi, and this main flux phi, when it is linked with the primary winding, it produces or induces an EMF E1 in the primary winding known as self-induced EMF, and this flux is linking with the secondary winding of a transformer producing another induced EMF that is known as secondary induced EMF in the secondary winding. Okay, so what will happen, there is the flow of current I2 because of this load connection. So this I2 will produce its own MMF known as MMF N2 I2, and this MMF produce its own magnetic flux phi 2 which is in opposition or opposite direction to the main flux. It means here if we are assuming the direction of a flux in clockwise direction, it means it will establish a flux in opposite direction of the main flux. Okay, this is, suppose this is anti-clockwise. Okay, this is what the red one shows, the flux phi 2, and this phi 2 will demagnetize, or it reduces the strengthening of this main flux. Okay, so this N2 I2 is known as demagnetizing ampere turn. This is known as demagnetizing ampere turn. Okay, as the value of this main flux phi goes on reducing, it means E1 is equal to d phi by dt N1. So it means as this phi decreases, what will happen, this E1 also decreases. If E1 is decreasing, it means the potential of V1 is higher than E1. So what will happen, there is a flow of an additional component current known as I2 dash in the primary winding, which is compensating the this flux. Okay, so we can say that when the load is connected to the secondary winding of a transformer, the secondary current I2 is established and it set up its own MMF which is given as N2 I2, and hence phi 2 flows which is in opposition to the main flux phi. Okay, this phi 2 I2 will establish phi 2 which is opposing this main flux phi, and this main flux get demagnetized, means the strengthening of this main flux get lower. Okay, because of this lowering, E1 also gets lower. The secondary ampere turn N2 I2 are known as demagnetizing ampere turn. Okay, now next is what, the opposing flux phi 2 weakens the main flux phi, and main flux phi is it is because of I naught. This main flux phi is because of I naught. So what the statement is saying, if phi 2 is weakening this main flux, and hence E1 gets reduced. As the E1 reduces, the potential V1 is more than E1. Okay, means as this goes on decreasing, what will happen? The potential or the applied voltage is more than E1. So the property of current is what? It always flows from higher potential to lower potential. It means I0, it was already flowing in the primary winding. The another additional component, that is I2 dash, will start flowing into the primary winding. So we can say that the potential V1 is more than E1 causes to flow more current in the primary winding, given as I2 dash. Okay. Now, when this I2 flows into the primary winding, it will set up its own MMF. Okay, that is MMF in primary side, which is given as N1 I2 dash, and this N1 I2 dash, it produces another flux which is given as phi 2 dash, which flows in the primary winding, which flows from the primary winding and link with the secondary winding. It will start flowing like this, and which is in anti direction of phi 2. Okay, it is this third direction. This is for phi 2 dash, and the direction of this phi 2 dash and phi 2 both are in opposition, means phi 2 is opposite or opposition to phi 2. It means both will cancel out each other. If they are cancelling out each other, one is clockwise, another one is anti-clockwise, it means they will cancel out each other. Only the remaining flux will be phi, that is main flux. Again, it means if the load is connected, I2 will establish, and this I2 establish its phi 2, and this phi 2 weakens the main flux. Because of this weakening of the main flux, E2 gets lower, E1 gets lower, and as the applied voltage is more than E1, there is an additional component known as load component in the primary side. It will start flowing, which is equal to the I2 dash is equal to the I2, means I2 is equal to the I2 dash, but they are in phase opposition. They are equal, but their phase is their direction is opposite. It means if one I2 is upward, so it means I2 dash is in downwards, means the magnitude is same but the direction is different. So they will cancel out each other, means whatever the flux is produced by this I2, that is phi 2, and this I2 dash is producing flux phi 2 dash, they will cancel out each other because their magnitude is same but the direction is different. Okay, when this phi 2 and phi 2 dash and phi 2 cancel out each other, only flux, main flux, will remain in the core. Okay, it means what we can conclude, if we increase the load, it means there is an increase in the I2. As I2 goes on increasing, the load component I2 dash will also increase, which is the compensating load component in the primary side. Okay, therefore it cancel out the flux phi 2 dash and phi 2, both are cancelling out each other because they are in phase opposition. So remaining main flux is what? That is phi. Okay, so we can say that in the core only the main flux will flow. As we goes on increasing the load, only and only the main fluxes will remain constant. Okay, it means phi is what? It is constant. Okay, so depending upon this figure, phi 2 dash is equal to phi 2, we can write phi 2 dash is equal to phi 2, or we can say MMF, we can write N1 I2 dash is equal to N2 I2, or we can write it as I2 dash is equal to N2 divided by N1 I2, and this is what, this is the transformation ratio, therefore I2 dash is equal to K I2. Okay, I2 dash is equal to K I2. Clear? It means we can say that the core, see here the phi is constant. If the phi is constant, it means core losses means which depends upon a magnetic flux is remain same. It does not depends upon load. Okay, this is very important point. Core losses do not depends upon the load. As we goes on increasing this load, I2 will increase. As I2 will increase, what will happen? This I2 dash will increase. Again, both are compensating each other. This I0 will remain constant, and this I0, what it is doing, it is producing this flux phi, and which is remain constant. And in primary winding, we can say that I1 is equal to I0 plus I2 dash. It means I0 plus I2. These are what? These are the components of primary winding, primary current I1. Okay, this is what the phasor sum. This is also one of the relation. Okay, thank you.